Good evening, everyone. You are all very welcome to this evening's MU Live. I'm delighted to be joined this evening with Barry Fennelly, who is our Golf Development Officer here at Maynooth University. And we also have three fantastic current golf scholarship students. We have Aaron Marshall, who is a second-year business and management student. We have Owen Murphy then, who is a third-year business and management student, and the lovely Kate Dwyer, who is a third-year law student. So they're going to talk a little bit about their experience on scholarship and also what it's like to be a student at Maynooth. My name is Fionnuala Finnegan, and I am the Student Recruitment Officer. I was about to give myself a promotion at Maynooth University, and I'm joined by my colleague in admissions, Deirdre, who's going to help me in the background here with all things technological, etc. I just want to draw your attention to the bottom of the screen there, folks. We have a chat box and we have a Q&A box. And really what I hope is that you have tons of questions for us here for Barry and the guys. And if you do have lots of questions, please pop them into the Q&A box. Deirdre's going to use the chat function to drop in some helpful links, the links to the scholarship program, which I'm sure most of you are dying to hear more about. And that is a PAC application, and maybe to our open day and other little bits and pieces there as well. So yeah, listen, the session is being recorded. So if you know of anyone who wanted to be here this evening but wasn't able to be here, then it will be available from usually tomorrow afternoon on the website where you actually registered for this event. You should have the screen, the recording then of tonight's presentation. So listen, without further ado, I'll hand you over to Barry. And yeah, so that's it. Take it away there, Barry. Many thanks.
Thanks, Fionnuala. Guys, everyone's very welcome. I'm going to start off by a little bit of background on myself and what I do at the university here and run the golf program. And then I'm going to go through a presentation on everything we do with the Paddy Harrington Golf Scholarship here at Maynooth University. So I'm delighted to be joined here by some of my scholarship students, Owen, Aaron and Kate. And by all means, I want the guys to kind of give their experience. And so if you have any questions, guys, it's really important that you put your hand up or put in the chat box because it's about you guys tonight getting the most information to make good decisions going forward. So without further ado, I'm going to share the screen here for my presentation. Okay, can everybody see that okay?
That looks good, Barry. Amazing.
Excellent. Okay, guys, just a little bit on myself. So as I mentioned, I am the golf manager here at the university, and my sole role really is running the Paddy Harrington Golf Scholarship. And so just a little bit of background on myself. I started, I'm actually a graduate of the program myself. I did 4 years at Maynooth. Done a business management degree, finished in 2010, and then I did a master's at the university in 2011. I was the team captain for 4 years while I was at the university. And prior to that, I did a stint in America. I went on a golf scholarship to West Texas for a year, but came back to Maynooth. So shortly after finishing with my master's, I started in the position of golf manager. And really for the past 10 years, my goal has been to try and make the Paddy Harrington Golf Scholarship at Maynooth the best golf scholarship program in Europe, really. And obviously from an Irish point of view, to attract some of the best up and coming talent to the university and try and help them develop and reach an elite level. So that's what our goal is. Obviously, we've had a lot of success in the last couple of years, and we've been delighted to attract some really top talent. So let me run into some of the details here pretty quickly. Okay, so just a little bit on our journey to date. So we were established by a man called Bob Joyce. Bob was a very close friend of Paddy Harrington, Padraig's father. Bob was working in the university as part of the foundation. It was really his vision to start a golf scholarship program to try and attract and I suppose retain some of the best golfing talent in Ireland and across Europe, and give them an opportunity to develop and get a world-class education at the university. So it was really his vision, and we're very thankful to Bob because he got Padraig involved, and we still have a very good relationship with Padraig, and that's really how we got started. So it was established in 2006. We have over 100 graduates to date. As I mentioned, I was part of the first kind of group of graduates in 2010. Yeah, I mean, it's been a very successful program to date, really. So just a little bit on what we've kind of achieved in the last couple of years and over that period. So, you know, the ultimate goal really is to try and get, from a golfing point of view, obviously, is try and get players to an elite level, to the top of the amateur game, and hopefully give them a springboard to the pro game. You know, one of Bob's big goals and was that we would hopefully produce some tour professionals in time. So, I mean, we've come close and we're still striving to do that. It's a big ambition of mine and of the team here at Commute to try and help provide a platform for players to get to that level. So we've had 10 players out there playing tour professional golf. Some have had partial status on the European tour, and on the female side, we've had a player get to the ladies European tour, and we've had over 10 PGA teaching professionals. I suppose this is another thing that kind of has really distinguished us in recent years is that, you know, in the last 5 years, we've had 5 players get inside the top 50 in the World Amateur Golf Rankings, which has been an amazing achievement. We've had Robin Dawson would have been the highest ranked player. Robin got to 6th in the world after graduating. We've had a number of players like Gary Hurley, Keelan Rafferty, Ronan Blarney, Stuart Gretton. All those guys have got to a really elite level at amateur games. So they've really been great ambassadors for the program, and I suppose they've shown that it's possible to stay at home and develop your game to an elite level and get a world-class education over and above other opportunities, let's say, in America. Another thing that we've been doing really, really well in, and it's kind of given us an international, I suppose, appeal, is the Arnold Palmer Cup, which is an annual college match, if you're not familiar with it, amongst the best players in the US against the rest of the world. So we've had 5 APC players, and remarkably, we've had 6 representatives in the last 8 stagings of the event. So this is just a couple other key points as to what we have achieved. 2 Walker Cup players, a Curtis Cup player. We've had over 40 Irish internationals come through the program. And as a university student and as a Harrington scholar here, you have the opportunity to represent Ireland at world universities, which is you know, the second biggest event to the Olympics itself. So we've been fortunate to have some of our top scholars go and represent Ireland at the Student Olympics and medal at those games. So that's been massive for us as well. On an Irish point of view, we've had over 35 Irish championship wins, over 20 college victories. We've won 4 team titles in the UK against our UK counterparts at college level, and also we've won 2 national club titles. We won the Senior Cup and Barton Shield. So we don't enter them anymore, but that was very much in the early days of the program.
Barry, sorry
yes.
to jump in there. Your sound is kind of coming and going. I thought it would settle down. Is it perhaps the lead on the headphones? Is it better without the headphones?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Thanks a bit.
No worries. Thanks, Vanilla. Okay, guys, just gone through basically what's on offer with the program, some of the privileges. So we're very fortunate to have full access to the Golf Ireland National Academy at Carton House. So that's our training base. So basically, all the players in the program have full access to that facility. That's we do the majority of our coaching and training. We've also full access to the two golf courses at Carton. So yeah, we basically have a full access, which is fantastic, and that's all year round. So obviously the bulk of the program is throughout the academic year, but it's another benefit to have access to it in the summertime when players are coming and going. If they need to work on their game, they can use the facility. At the academy, we've obviously access to their fitting center, and we have TrackMan, and we have all the latest technology there. Plus, our own coaching team would work with the latest technology, so we tend to utilize as much of that as possible. In addition to Carton, we're also fortunate to have access to Royal Dublin and Portmarnock links golf courses, which are about half an hour away from campus. So we have student membership and affiliation with those clubs. So that's another huge benefit or privilege to the scholars throughout the year. Just a little bit on the accommodation. So all scholars would stay pretty much on campus. We try and have the team live together as much as possible, which is really, really positive from a team morale and team work ethic point of view, but also it's very practical too, because everybody's, pretty much trying to do the same schedule week in, week out. So as part of the scholarship, we can give you a priority place on campus. Just in terms of the support services we offer, and this is something that we work really hard on at Maynooth, and it's something that I've tried to really provide in the past number of years to really give all our players the best opportunity to develop to an elite level. So, we feel this is something that makes us unique over and above other programs, especially, it's something that you wouldn't get in the States, for example, is access to a high performance coaching team. So, we would put a lot of emphasis on trying to develop you as an individual, develop you as a player, holistically. So we work on everything. Obviously, golf coaching is a massive part of it, but we would look at all aspects of your development. So we put a big emphasis on the physical side of things with S&C. We have a number of S&C sessions a week. Pretty much have a full-time coach with us. We also have yoga, so we do that once a week as a group. And we have a nutritionist who works with the team full-time as well. And we've got a sports psychologist as well. So there's quite a lot of people in the team. There's quite a lot of support services. And so that's something that we've had great success with in trying to put some of the best coaches around the players to help them develop. So I mean, that's kind of the team in a nutshell. In addition to access to the team, we would have a number of training camps. So obviously the big one during the year would be our annual winter training camp to Portugal, which is end of January. But with the kind of advent of the RNA Student Tour Series, which is our main focus from a tournament point of view, we would target a number of the events and we would try and run training camps and preparation camps for those tournaments throughout the year. So that's another big angle to the program as well. Just a little bit on financial support and how that kind of works in the program. So as one of the top golf scholarship programs in Europe, we get funding from the RNA to run our program. But in addition to that, the RNA also have an individual scholarship foundation program, which basically awards funding to each player. Obviously, it's based on a criteria, but most, if not all of our players would receive funding by way of a bursary from the RNA, which is a big help to the players. Also, it can go towards their college costs. It can go towards, funding their competition schedules throughout the year. So that's the RNA Foundation Scholarship Program. From a Maynooth point of view with the scholarship, we can assist with on-campus accommodation, depending on what scholarship offer you get. We can try and look at covering that or subsidizing it. depending on what level of scholarship you got. But also a big part of the financial support too is trying to give players more opportunities to play overseas events. So outside of pretty much our kind of 7 or 8 college events throughout the academic term, we would look to try and send the bulk of the squad to as many overseas international championships if they get in. So certainly that's something we're very keen to do, and we would provide funding for them to go and do that. That could be 3 or 4 events throughout the year. So that's just a little bit on the financial support. So basically, in summary, there's opportunity to get funding from the RNA, which can range from basically £750 to £5,000, depending on the level you reach during your tenure in college. And then obviously from a new point of view, we would subsidise or pay for accommodation depending on the scholarship award. And we'd also give out funding to help with tournament expenditure. Just on to next, which is something that's really kind of helped elevate our programme, and something that is huge potential going forward, is the RNA Student Tour Series, which was launched in 2019. So basically, the RNA have really been trying to grow student golf in GB&I in Europe, but they're now running basically a 5-series tour. It's an order of merit tour, and actually we're off to the final event next week. So it's really good, and really it's based all around Europe. Basically, it's to try and bring the best college golfers across Europe together to compete. So it's been great. We've been back this year playing a full schedule, and I think the players have really enjoyed it. The venues are top class. We're playing pretty much venues that have hosted European Tour events or open qualifying venues. So they're really championship golf courses, and I think it's given the players a real platform to develop their games and get them ready for the season. So really excited about the Tour Series, and that's going to grow from strength to strength. I certainly think in time we could have possibly some Asian players and players from around the world coming to play in it. So it's really an exciting space. So just to give you a little bit more detail on that, I have a video which, if we've time, I'll try play it at the end, just to give you an insight into what the Tour Series is all about. But basically, it's 5 events from September to April. We play in Spain, Portugal, Scotland, Ireland. It's an order of merit style event, as I said. So we're off next week to the final, which is basically the top 40 guys and top 15 girls in the order of merit. So the big carrot with the Tour Series is there's a spot in the Arnold Palmer Cup team for those who finish in the top 5. They have an opportunity to be selected in the Arnold Palmer Cup. So that's a huge carrot with the Tour Series. And we also do play in some British universities events. But as the Tour Series has got busier, that's been our main focus in recent years. Golf Ireland run the National Varsity Championship, which is usually mid-October. So those are our kind of key college events. In addition to them, as I mentioned, we do try and support players to go play as many high-ranking World Amateur Golf events. And so in addition to the Tour Series events and at home, the intervarsities, we send players to play a tournament in the States called the Patriot, which is a top 10 basically ranked event in the world. Really elite event. Brings together all the All-Americans in college golf. So that's a unique opportunity for 2 of our best players. We've also other international events that we've played, and we've sent players to places like Peru, and with European University Championships, which are kind of every second year. It's also a really good opportunity. I've already mentioned about World University Golf. So that's those are other international events as part of the college offering that we can offer players when they come to Maynooth. Just a little bit on I suppose the categories of scholarship awards, very briefly. So basically we have 3 levels of scholarship award. Our top award is called a Platinum Award, and we basically would try and offer, I suppose, at least 2 or 3 of them a year. Really depends on the standard. So the Platinum Award pretty much get everything we can offer, all the scholarship privileges, and as much financial support as we can offer. So they would get their accommodation covered. We would certainly give them exclusive access to the coaching team if necessary, and some funding to go play international events. The next then will be gold. Gold is still a full scholarship. Essentially, you're on the scholarship squad, but you just may not get as much financial support. And then the entry level to the scholarship will be our silver golf award, which is a place in our development squad. So typically we would have between 6 to 8 max on the development squad. And those players get some of the privileges. They get full access to the facilities at Carton. They'd get some coaching, golf coaching, some S&C, some access to the high performance coaches. They'd have an opportunity to play on the tour series. But they just wouldn't get full privileges. And so really the silver award is for players who we feel have potential, and who have a really good work ethic and are committed to getting to the next level, but just haven't quite put the performances together. So there's really a pathway for those players to come into the scholarship team. Just a little bit on participation and something that I get asked, like obviously the golf program is at a very high standard, guys. But certainly if you're not meeting the criteria for a scholarship, we do like to try and help develop players through the golf club, and I suppose that's something that's growing each year. We have a great partnership with the Academy and Carton, and so we can certainly try and support students who join the golf club and give them access to go practice, go get some coaching, and really just get access to playing a bit of competitive golf as a group. And some of our golf club players have actually come and played their way into the program over time, and they might have come in, missed out on the scholarship, just really got involved with the club, played regularly, worked on their game, come out and played into varsities and have worked their way in. So I mean, it really is, once you get into the university, there is plenty of opportunities. And also on the social side, I mean, that's something that we would try and help players with too, if they really just want to have golf for fun. I mean, it's another option here at the university. So that's a kind of a snapshot of the categories, guys. Just a little bit on criteria. So handicap is something I get asked about a lot. To be honest, handicap is very much a guide. It's not the sole determining factor when it comes to looking at a player. So really what we're much more interested in is your track record as an underage player, at national, international events, provincial events. How have you done? How have you fared nationally? And certainly we would look at your rankings, whether that's on the European WAGO ranking or any other ranking system, order of merits. We would certainly look at that. But ultimately, the two key things that we want to see is that you've got the potential to get to a high level, but more so that you've a real ambition and desire to develop as a player. That's really important, because at the end of the day, we pride ourselves on providing players with a really good environment. But it's down to the players to make the most of all the privileges and opportunities that we can give them. So certainly kind of a desire and an ambition to work hard and get to an elite level is a key consideration when we're looking to award scholarships. A little bit on the academic side. So just basically the bare minimum you need in terms of gaining matriculation to the university is 300 points. In addition to that, if you just meet the threshold, if you get a scholarship, we can award up to 60 points concession. And that's something we would kind of discuss at an interview stage with each of the players who are looking to come. So that is a bit of a safety net, but at the same time, it's something that we would discuss with candidates at the interview stage. I think it's important to say too that obviously once you're in the university and you get your course, it's really important, and it's part of the program, part of the scholarship agreement, that you progress each year and you pass each year. in order to kind of maintain your position on the program. So that's really important. Just a little bit more on the academic side, and it's something that I also get asked a lot, is just what course goes best with golf, and I suppose the answer to that question is there is no specific course really. I mean, the players who have got the most out of the golf scholarship program over the years have had a really good blend of the program and of an academic program that they really like and they see themselves career-wise doing. So it's really important from my point of view that you are passionate about your degree, that you have an interest in the subject area, because it will just make your whole experience and life a lot more easier for you going through your 3 or 4 years with us. So certainly that's something that I would guide students with, but it's really important that you guys yourselves pick the course that you're passionate with. The challenge that I have then is just logistically trying to make your academic program fit around the golf program. So that's something that I try and work hard on. And whether you're doing a science degree and you're 30 hours a week, or whether you're doing a business, we will accommodate as best we can, and certainly work a system so that you can get the best of both worlds. Just a little bit on the application process. So basically, our application process is an online application by April 1st in the year you're looking to start. So obviously, if people are looking to start in the university next September 22, they need to apply online to us by April 1st. So I just have the link there, but it's something I can certainly share with you guys after. So yeah, that's really important, just to get your application in online. And then we would invite the top candidates for an interview mid to end of April. And we look to really make an offer pretty shortly after that, by the start of May, so that students know exactly what's on offer from us well before they sit their leaving cert. Couple of things when you are applying is obviously we want to know about your golfing history, we want to know about your achievements. We do ask that you upload your handicap information and any references, but please get in touch with me directly if you have any questions on the application system. I'm going to try and play a video now, guys, and see if this will work. Just a kind of an insight into the whole program, and hopefully from the player's point of view.
I'm Barry Fennelly. I am the manager of the Paddy Harrington Golf Scholarship here at Maynooth University.
Sorry.
To date, we have had over 80 graduates from the Paddy Harrington Golf Scholarship, and we've been extremely fortunate to have some really unbelievable talent through the program. A number of our players are currently out playing on professional tours. Some are on the European Challenge Tour. We've had some of our females now competing on the European Ladies Tour. A number of those players would have represented Great Britain and Ireland at the highest levels in the amateur game, the Walker Cup and the Curtis Cup, at the Arnold Palmer Cup. We've had some unbelievable talent come through the program.
There's a few reasons I decided to come swimming. Firstly, I was part of the Irish boys team that won the Boys Home Internationals in 2013, and I know a lot of the players decided to go there, so between talking to them and their opinions on the place, and then coming up here to see the place, the coaches, facilities, I thought it was a no-brainer, so I think I made the right choice.
Patriot All-American in Arizona around Christmas time was a great event. I get some of the best college players in the States there. For two people from Maynooth to go over, it's incredible. Really good golf course, and yeah, just an amazing trip.
Yeah, I feel I definitely have improved as a player each year. I think more so than one specific part. I think I maybe got slightly better at each individual part, whether that might be adding new shots that I'd be able to hit, or working with a psychologist for the first time, or even really taking the gym quite serious for the first time. I think everything kind of combines to help.
Probably discipline. So getting up for workouts at 7 o'clock, you know, for the first kind of few sessions, you're not too happy, but after that, then I think everyone enjoyed it. You know, you get your workout in, and you know, you go to your class, and then in the afternoon you go practicing. It helped me develop as a player in many ways. You know, I got stronger and fitter in the gym. I also have the putting coaches there that really helped me, which is Donald Scott, and you know, other coaches there like Johnny Foster and Old Fox that really help us, you know, get productive practice in. So, and then working also with Donald on the, you know, statistics, you know, seeing what areas of the game to actually get better in. So, they were probably the main things that really helped me develop as a player. Obviously, the academy is there as well. You know, I think they've 2 or 3 chipping greens, you know, 2 putting greens, and like the condition of it all year round is exceptional. You know, going up and down whenever I kind of want and getting Pro Vs, you know, so yeah, that really helps us develop me as a player.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I think the best advice I'd give someone is time flies. I'm here 5 years, it doesn't feel like 5 years. There's a lot of work involved in it as well, but you get out of it what you put into it, so it's worth it.
My advice would be, you know, you need to be disciplined, you need to have good time management, and you need to have good work ethic. You know, you have everything lined out for you in front of you, so if you do those 3 things, you'll definitely improve as a player.
For more information on the Paddy Harrington Golf Scholarship, please visit maynooth.ie/golf or follow us on our social media channels, Twitter and Instagram.
Okay, guys, hope that gives you a good insight into what we're about, and I hope it's been informative. But yeah, listen, we would just love to take any questions that you have, and certainly I'd like to bring in my own scholars now to give a few insights themselves. So please shoot if you have a question.
Thanks so much for that, Barry. That was hugely informative. The video at the end was great. Yeah, absolutely. If anyone has any questions, please pop them into the chat box there. You know, this evening is for you. And if there is anything that you'd like clarified on anything, delighted to take those questions now. But shall we move on to the lovely golf scholars that are here and have given over their Wednesday evening to talk to us a little bit about their experience? So I suppose we'll start ladies first, shall we? Katie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience on the Golf Scholarship Programme?
Yeah, so I started here in 2019, I think. So I'm in 3rd year and I'm doing law. Suppose I came in, I was playing all right golf, and then there was probably like the opportunity to go to America or stay here. And then I wasn't too keen in America, so I'd say I see a lot of girls kind of either drifting off, not playing any golf. So I kind of didn't want that to happen. So I felt like Maynooth gave me a really good balance. Like everything's there for you, as like the video said. You just have to, like, you have to choose to do it, and if you want to do it, like absolutely everything's there for you. So I felt like it was a really good fit for me. Obviously Barry's great, and the competition's really good between all the lads and the girls, and the standard's high. So I came in just the year the RNA series started, and like that competition's really, really good. The girls you're playing against, like, they're a really high standard as well. So that just brings you on. And then I suppose it's really good because it runs, the schedule is kind of between when we start in September to March, and then our like own domestic schedule sort of starts after that. So it gives you a really good kind of, I don't know, starter before you go into your own season. So yeah, well, I found it to be a really good, positive experience so far. That's about it for me.
Amazing. Thanks, Kate. Where are you from?
I'm from Monaghan.
You're from Monaghan. I was
Yeah.
trying to detect it. I thought it might be loud.
I get Donegal or Monaghan up here. So
Very good. Very good. And do
Yeah.
you commute or do you live on campus?
I was living on campus for my first 2 years, and then I just decided to move off this year. So I'm living nearby. I commute just every weekend. So I pop up and down. I'm only an hour and a half, so I find that I like doing that as well. So you kind of have the best of both worlds.
And how did you get into golf in the first instance? And I'm going to ask you all the same question.
How did I get into golf? I'd say I was, I suppose, late in terms of I was probably like 11 or 12, and I just went out with my dad. He was kind of junior convener at the time. My brother had played, and I didn't know what they were doing, walking after a little ball. I thought they were mad for 4 or 5 hours. And he just took me out in the course, and I suppose it's a habit then, and it's a bit of an obsession. You pick it up and spend your whole summers at it. So I think that was kind of it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it was obviously in 2019, apologies, when you came in, you were lucky because you probably had access to all the competitions and things like that. How did what happened during COVID? There was obviously not a lot going on, and how did you keep motivated?
Well, it was really good because so COVID came in, I think I came in September, and then COVID started in March, but like the program kept it up as much as we could. Like we had Zoom S&C like twice a week. We were able to do our like psychology and all that over Zoom, our yoga over Zoom. So like we done probably as much as we could have done during it. And it was good because it would make you get up. You'd still be doing the same times every morning. You felt like it kept you a good routine kind of in the middle of it. So it never really stopped. Like we didn't have, like we take our break possibly for a couple of months during the summer, but it was more or less the same routine throughout the whole week. So that definitely helped over COVID. It was great. And then you didn't feel you were as far behind. Felt like you were maybe a step ahead of everyone else when you came out of it. So it was good.
Yeah, just to keep the routine going. Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you so much, Kate. We'll be back to everyone. This is the biggest student panel we've ever had, so it's fantastic. Let's go to Aaron next. How are you, Aaron?
Not
How
too bad.
did you fall
right?
into golf? Yeah, good. Where are you from?
I'm from Lisburn. I'm from up north.
Oh, very good. And what's your journey been like so far?
I came into Maynooth in last September 2020. Second year doing business management. I originally, when I had a pretty successful boys career, played for Ireland, played for Great Britain and Ireland as a boy. I never really wanted to go to America, but I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do, like after leaving school and stuff, and whether like what my path was. And I actually went to Ulster University to begin with.
Okay.
Didn't really have a great structure in my life, and yeah, I was just sort of struggling with my golf and with my academics. But
Sure.
I got in contact with Barry and we sort of discussed it and decided that Maynooth was the best option for me. After that, I dropped out of Jordanstown, came to Maynooth, and I've enjoyed it ever since. It's given me a great opportunity to compete in a great environment with great players and great access to great facilities, and real good people around me as well. Great support from them. So yeah, it's been great.
And were you studying the same things in both places, or did you completely make a fresh start?
No, I made a fresh start, so I did. I was studying sports science in Jordanstown, and then I've moved to business management. Yeah, it's been the right choice. It's given me a lot of structure again in my life, and
very good.
Moved me in the right direction with my golf game, with my studies as well.
Yeah, that fair play, because that was a big leap of faith that completely changed. You'd probably done a lot of research around the sports science and things like that, or had business always kind of been in your mind?
To be fair, like I studied sport like at A level in school, and I was originally looking to come to Maynooth and do sport, but it didn't offer that, and I said I'll stay at home and go to Jordanstown. But yeah, I was happy enough to do business. I studied business in school as well, and it's been grand so far.
Amazing. And did you obviously you came in the height of, oh no, you had the first half of the year, didn't you, 2020? So we only locked down the second half.
I was here till Christmas last year, and then was obviously home from Christmas till April when we were in lockdown last year. So yeah, I didn't really have much of a first year. It was more just making the most of it online and stuff, and trying to get the most out of what we all had together as a group.
And how did you manage to keep yourself motivated? Because it's not easy. We've all had to really try and keep ourselves motivated, and it's not always easy to motivate yourself online. What did you do? What kind of tips would you give students? Well, hopefully we won't go back there, but
well, I just tried to make the most of what was offered to us. Like, not everyone else was going to be offered what we were getting offered anyway. During the lockdown, we had 2 gym sessions a week. yoga once a week, a nutritionist to talk to. We had Zoom calls with Barry and the coaches discussing like how we get better as players mentally, and like how to get better, make more use of our time and stuff. So it was grand. Like the weeks sort of passed quick enough when we were doing that, and yeah, we sort of got the most out of the lockdown, and it sort of left me in a better place to go into the season last year rather than thinking I was going to be real rusty and stuff. So it was grand.
Great. And what has your highlight been so far, would you say, Aaron?
I've enjoyed every part of it. I've enjoyed living on campus with lads. I live with Owen and David Kidd as well. It's been good crack. I love the whole structure to Maynooth and the opportunities that you're given, and it's very intense, so it is, but it's worth it because you get the most out of everything, and getting to travel to all the student tour series events in Portugal and Spain and stuff. It's been great. Like, this is really my first year where I've been able to compete for Maynooth. So yeah, it's been great traveling and competing in the best environments, student events.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Aaron. We move on to Owen now. How are you doing, Owen?
Yeah, all good.
Good
Thanks.
stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about, so you're a third year business and management student?
Yeah, doing business and management. So
And how did you come to that? And how did you come to golfing?
I think in terms of the business and management, I probably just always sort of thought to go down the sort of business route, and then just talking to people that had been in Maynooth before me that done a similar degree, a good few of the lads that played it golf done the business and management, and they enjoyed it and they recommended it, so that was probably where I went with that. But I always had a bit of an interest in business, and then just from the golf point of view, I took it up when I was sort of around 10 or 11 years of age. I played a good bit of hurling when I was younger, and then just got into golf as I went through my teenage years and played with Ireland and stuff as a boy golfer, and sort of was just looking for what to do next. As Aaron was saying, like, a lot of people can kind of go to the States or different things, but I had no real interest in America, and Maynooth's pretty much the only place here that offers a really good golf scholarship where you're in a set environment and you can work on your golf all year round.
How did you find out about the scholarship, actually?
Yeah, probably just talking to people. There was Keelan Rafferty that plays in Dundalk with me in my club. He was in Maynooth at the time, and just talking to him and talking to other lads that were sort of on the Irish circuit playing, and yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Was there anything that you were surprised about? You have an idea of what maybe going to university is like or being on scholarship, and when you come to did the reality match up with maybe what you had in your head?
Yeah, no, it probably did. You don't know what to expect when you're, like, some people that sort of think you go to America for the weather and all this sort of crap, but a lot of the time you could be in somewhere cold where you're indoors training most of the time anyway. But down here the facilities are unbelievable. Like, Carton House is second to none in terms of, like, all through the winter you can still practice, and that's probably something you don't think you'll get in Ireland, but it is there and it's in Maynooth, and that's probably a major benefit. But then being able to go away and play in the likes of, we've been in Spain and Scotland, Portugal, like, it's great to get away and play in them sort of competitive environment during the winter when other people haven't got that sort of chance, really.
Absolutely. And how did you find that experience? Have you guys you've been to Portugal? Have you in Spain?
Yeah, we were in Portugal in January for a training camp for a week, and then we did a tournament up further north. And then we're only back actually a couple of weeks from Spain. We were over in Salou at another RNA student series event. And then we're away to Scotland again next week. So it's been busy, but you can't, like, that's brilliant to have the opportunity to sort of have competitive golf the whole way through the year rather than just during the summer if you're just playing in Ireland.
Yeah. And do the ladies, excuse my ignorance now, but do the ladies and gents go away together? Okay. Thanks so much, Owen. And I'll come back to you all. Do you all go together as a group representing Maynooth?
Yes, we do. We all travel together. There's separate, like, ladies and men's events, like, when you go there. So you're playing with, like, other players from different, so I'll be playing with different girls from different universities, like, in different countries, but we all travel together and stay together. So it's nice. It's good balance.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sounds amazing. And how is Maynooth University faring? Can we ask?
Faring in terms of? In terms
of ranking. Are we...
yeah, it's good. Like, we're improving every year. Like, we've had some really, really, really strong girls come through the program and lads. So no, like me, myself, I like to think I'm improving every year. As you say, like, you're against the top players, like, in Europe, so you don't want it to be easy. You want to see, you want to be playing against good players, and like the lads are the same. The standard's really high. So no, we're all right. We're tipping along.
You're mixing
we're
it.
holding our own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What kind of tips, guys, would you give students that are here today that are thinking about, you know, they might be on the fence the way you guys were? Will I come to Maynooth? Will I go to the States? What kind of piece of advice would you give students who are, you know, have that dilemma at the moment currently? Anyone can jump in there. I don't mind.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, it was like, I wouldn't be a home bird necessarily, but like, you've a lot of things at home, family and girlfriends, and like I enjoy going home at the weekends and like even working, say, on a Friday and a Saturday night. So it's nice to have that balance. Whereas I think in America, it's very full on. It's you're there, you're gone for 6 months, and it's just golf, golf, golf. Whereas I think Maynooth sort of offers, obviously, yeah, you've your golf and everything you can get out of that, coaching wise and gym and psychology and nutrition. But then on the other side of it, then you have that balance of just feeling like you're still at home as well, which is, I enjoy that anyway.
Yeah, thank you so much, Owen. What about yourself, Aaron?
It's a great opportunity. Like, I would recommend it to anyone. It's like you get so much out of it, and I would say I obviously haven't been to America, I haven't experienced it, but like any Maynooth like scholars performed as well as any person who's done a scholarship in America. So I would really recommend it. Like, you need to have a good balance of like time management, and you get a social life here as well. You know, you're a student after all. You get to enjoy yourself as well while having that competitive like environment you're in as well.
Yeah, I think that's such a valid point. It isn't easy to manage your time well, so that you're obviously, you know, something which students might forget is that you still have to be keeping up with your coursework. You still have to be passing all your assignments and your exams. How do you manage to strike the balance and still have fun? What would you say, Aaron?
Well, as long as you're efficient with your time, like you like Barry has the program set out so well. It's so structured. You know, you have your time for golf and your own personal practice when you choose to do that. And then you have your class time as well. So there's a really good balance to it, and you're never really too confused or like struggling to get the most out of your time when you are playing golf and practicing, or when you're going to class as well. It's a really good balance.
Amazing. And do you have time for any other clubs and societies? Is that a silly question, Owen?
Yeah, no, you probably do. Like, it's all about just how you manage your time. Time management's just a big thing. That is like getting that balance between making sure you're on the ball with getting assignments done and being ready for exams, and then being able to enjoy yourself as well as getting all your work in with the golf too. So once you manage your time well, you can get a bit of everything.
We can't hear you there, Fionnuala. Sorry, you're just muted there.
Sorry, I muted myself to cough, and now the cough has come back. Apologies.
No worries.
I was just saying that Orla has written into the chat there. She was wondering that exact point, how students do balance their time and the golf and their competition demands. So would you concur with what the lads are saying, Kate?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, that's probably what's different from the States. Like, Barry's really fair. He's everything. Like, we have our schedule for the week, so if something doesn't suit you, like, you just get on to him and he'll try and accommodate you as much as possible. Like, you have to get your degree done at the end of the day first as well. So oh yeah, absolutely. It's just all about time management, and if you can do that, and it teaches you so much when you're here. If you're not good at that at the start, you'll be good at the end. So
yeah, correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it seems Barry has it all sewn up anyway. So what is the max? Thanks a million, Kate. What is the maximum number of golf students you take on annually onto the Paddy Harrington, Barry? Is it a 50-50 split between fellas and ladies and gents?
No, it's not, Fionnuala. And actually, Kate touched on, well, actually back to that question about we don't have separate men's and women's programs. The guys and girls train together, compete together. Obviously, there's separate competitions, but we're really trying to attract more girls and more women to the program. It's been a challenge in recent years. So no, it's certainly, it really depends, Fionnuala, what comes in. But just to answer that question that Orla has, I mean, we don't have a specific number per year. It really depends on the number of graduates. So we try and keep the program to about 18 players, 20 max, an absolute maximum in any given year. So, you know, if more players graduate in a specific year, we'll generally try to take in more. So on average, it probably works out at least 3 to 4, maybe 5 scholarships per year. It really depends, but it's small enough numbers. But as I say, it really would depend. If we had 10 graduates of the team go 1 year, you know, we'd have to try and rebuild the team, and we'd offer a lot more spots. So that's kind of how it works. So Orla, hopefully that answers your question.
That's super. Thank you so much. Someone else has written in here, if living on campus, would the golf scholars have the weekend for friends and family at home, or is there golf all week long? Or maybe there depends.
Yeah, I think that came from Charlie. I tried to write back to him there, but basically, generally speaking, the weekends are free for their free personal time. We generally don't try and schedule any training or coaching on the weekend, because we try really, and as the guys touched on, we try and get as much done during Monday to Friday so that everyone can kind of have their time off the weekend. Sometimes we are away at tournaments over the weekend, and so that's the only time really we would have something. So generally weekends are for the guys to have their own time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. For students who are considering making the application this evening, it's obviously open now. I mean, we're mid-March, so no time like the present, I say. What pieces of information are you really looking for on the application, Barry? And I suppose if we could give some tips to the students here today on maybe on prepping for interview. Now it is informal, but maybe no harm maybe to chat about 1 or 2 points in relation to that, if you wouldn't mind, Barry.
Yeah, absolutely. With the application, guys, the key thing is, and especially in the recent times with COVID, and you know, players haven't had the opportunity to play full schedules in the last probably 2.5 years. So it's really important that you put down everything to do with your golfing history, even if you think it's very small, even if it's a club result. You know, nothing's too small. You know, so my advice is put everything down to help us build a better picture of your golf and how you've progressed. So I mean, that would be one key thing. And also, I mentioned this earlier, just, you know, we like to know about what your ambition is, and so that's a big part of it. You know, definitely put a bit of effort into what you're hoping to achieve, and we like to see players who come in with, you know, a rough kind of guide in terms of their goals, and then, you know, how we can really help them achieve those goals, because, you know, that will help us to help them, I suppose. So certainly just the ambition piece is key. And when it comes to the interview, as you said, it is an informal, Fionnuala, but certainly just practicing answering kind of questions and speaking about yourself. I mean, it sounds stupid, but really I would advise people to really practice that, and how they kind of answer questions or speak about themselves. But it is informal. It's certainly not. It's certainly more of a conversation than anything.
Super. Thank you so much. Another question might have popped in here. Are inter-club competitions such as Senior Cup and Barton Shield important criteria for a scholarship?
There certainly would be considered your performance for your club in those events. So absolutely, we would look at that. We would look at how you fared, and that's important because we compete as a group, and you know, we'd like to see that players enjoy the team atmosphere, because we compete, we train as a group, we train as a team. So you know, it's certainly good to see that players have played for their clubs and have had success, and so yeah, that is something we would look at.
Thank you so much. I'm not muted, which is fantastic. How do you how did you integrate into campus life? The two fellas who were sharing accommodation together. Was it easy, or was there a little bit of effort involved?
Yeah, no, I think I found it good. In first year, obviously we were only there I came in September, and then obviously COVID hit and the whole lot. But that first couple of months was really enjoyable. Like, it was really good old gang in the apartment, and it was good crack.
Did you get homesick?
No, I was grand. It's only an hour up the road, so
You weren't too bad. Okay, very good, very good.
Yeah, no, it was good just to mix with people, and then, like, obviously when you're training with them and stuff, you sort of build that bit of team bonding as well. It's good.
And do you have a good social life?
Yeah, no, you can have, like, Minute's a good town for that too. Like,
Yeah.
it's not all golf. You can go out and enjoy yourself as well.
Yeah,
You won't say too much in front of Barry, but no, it is good.
No,
crack.
do you have to mind yourself a bit, I'd say?
Yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah.
Great stuff. How about you, Aaron and Kate? How did you, I don't want to sound too cheesy and say, how did you make friends? But I suppose it's on people's minds, particularly if they're coming up to live on campus and they're not from Kildare. Obviously, you've almost like a ready-made friendship group there in the golf. But outside of that, do you have any kind of tips for people?
Yeah, just engage with people. Like, you're living on campus, so you're always going to bump into people and meet new people, and you're obviously going to class as well. So you're in amongst everyone in Maynooth University. Like, there's hundreds of people live on campus and around the town anyway. So you're going to meet new people, and especially you're going to know the people as well in the golf scholarship heading in, which is a bit of comfort as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So we've 1 minute left. If anyone has any last minute questions that they'd like to pop into the Q&A or the chat box, you're more than welcome. If there's something you'd like to ask us, or something maybe you feel that you'd hoped we'd touch on and we didn't, you can speak now or forever hold your peace, so they say. I've just launched a little poll there. I hope you can all see it. Just 3 little questions for people who are here to respond to. Oh, amazing. It's always so interesting. Can you guys see the poll? Can you see it, Barry? Yeah. Can everyone see it? You're mute. Am I mute? No, you're mute though.
I'm mute. I can see it, Fidel. Yeah, this is great.
Amazing.
Great to see that feedback.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I suppose I'll leave it for another minute. And well, we don't have a minute, but I'll leave it for another couple of seconds. And
just if I could jump in.
Oh, yeah.
Just on the whole student life piece, and the guys did a great job there. I mean, at the same time, from my point of view, yes, I obviously want to try and help these guys get the most out of the golf program. But at the end of the day, like, one thing that's really important to us, and it's something that Padraig would talk about when we do get to write to him and meet him, is just the importance of getting an education, and that in every sense of the word. So the hard thing for me is making sure that there is a balance, because I try and empower the guys to have a lot of free time, but I know that as they kind of mature through things, they'll use it as best they can. So it's a hard one, because typically we wouldn't have more than 10-12 hours a week of structured time. So it does leave quite a lot of free time for players too, but we feel that's what works best. So
yeah, I suppose it can't be just wall-to-wall action. I think people would probably crumble. You need downtime. You need to be time to reflect, and time to study, and time to research and write assignments. Absolutely. And all those good bits and pieces. Yeah. Absolutely. But really good results of the poll here before we go, guys. So 94% of you had heard about, I'll share the results, had heard about the scholarship. 6% hadn't, but that's a really good return. So 94% would attend an on-campus open date, which is amazing, because we're going to have one. So I hope to see you all there on the 30th of April. And 78% of you are leaving certificates. So there's another 22% fall outside of that. So really, really good statistics there for us to mull over. And listen, you've all been so good and so helpful. That was so informative. Thank you so much to Barry, to Owen, to Kate, to Aaron, and to Deirdre for the great webinar that we had this evening. So the recording will be available. Apologies for the sound, Barry, you probably weren't aware. It was kind of coming and going a little bit. Unfortunately, it is the nature of Zoom and our laptops. Sometimes the combination, I know I had personally that problem last year. So I appreciate it's sometimes out of our hands. But thank you all so much. And I hope you got a lot out of that. And I shall bid you all a lovely evening. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Oh, I suppose just to say, if anyone does have any questions, you can send them to admissions@mu.ie. Admissions@mu.ie. I hope there's not a typo there. admissions@mu.ie. Thanks so much. Bye. Thanks, guys.